All right, let's have our attention up here. Hi, Jack. Nice to meet you. All right. Today we are, first of all, if you're new with us, this is our chalice, and we're actually going to light it sometime during the service today. But if you need a time to be by yourself, like say, for example, you feel distracted or you feel tired or you feel grumpy, you see behind Henry right there, there's a little rug. You can go, that's called our community of one. So if you need a time for yourself, you can do that anytime during worship. You don't have to ask permission to go to the community of one. Okay, so our service today is going to be about when you get stuck, give. What does that mean? You'll find out. First, we're going to do a song, and I'm going to ask you to stand up and be close by to a partner or two. Close by to a partner or two. Thanks, you two. Meeting up. And you're just going to give, everybody practice giving an elbow bump. Because instead of holding hands during the song, we're going to do that. All right, this song is called Gather Here. And it's about our relationships with each other and how we gather together for lots of power. Here we go. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit drawn near. Again, a little faster, now we know what we're doing. Here we go. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit drawn near. One more time, loud. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour. Good. Gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit drawn near. Very good. I'm going to invite you now I'm going to ask Lisa and Jen to stand here. And I want you to think inside your heart of either a gratitude that you have today, a grief, maybe something in the world like Ukraine, or something is to end for you, or to think of a way that you're excited about growing. Or maybe you just learned something new. And take a stone, and whatever that thing is, you can put it in the water here, or you can put it in the water here. Gently, okay? Let's go. Go ahead. Take your time.
Can you do something you're excited for?
Sure, yeah. That would be a gratitude, what you're excited for, right, Ada? Yep. Yep. You know what I'm putting my stone in for? I'm putting a joy in that we've made it to 2 years at church after the pandemic. And we're back here. That's my gratitude today. Okay, you can get another one. Here's Jenny, here she give you another one. Perfect. Thank you. All right. That's great. Oh! Nice and gentle.
It just went through the pulling.
That's all right.
It's lucky.
Okay, let's have a seat. Is there a chalice later on us? Marianne, I saw your hand. Let's say the words together. Life is a gift for which we are grateful. We gather in community to celebrate the glories and mysteries of this great gift. And so now we do that in ASL, American Sign Language. And I'll show you the symbols. The first thing you have to do is raise your eyebrows. That's life. Cherishing. Gratitude. Thank you. for a mindfulness practice, I'm just going to do a very simple gratitude practice. Gratitude practice is so important because it helps us to move through muddy times. That's what our theme is this month, moving through mud. So I'm going to ask you to put your hands together. Just take a deep breath. And think of one thing that you're grateful for inside your body. Yeah, just like this. What could it be? It could be your capacity to think. It could be your health, your blood. It could be your muscles, whatever, your food today. Breathing in and breathing out. And breathing in and breathing out. And a little bit bigger. Have a bigger chalice. And this time I want you to think about something that you're grateful for around you. It could be that we're back at church today and all of our friends. It could be the beautiful weather today. Breathing in and breathing out. And breathing in and breathing out. Good. And a great big chalice. And this time, the people and everything connected to the people that love you and care for you. People in the world. Think about all the kids and families in Ukraine and all the different countries. We're all connected. Thank you, Elliot, for making space. Here we go, breathing in. Just gratitude for life and that people will be okay. Breathing out. And breathing in. And breathing out. No. That's good energy. Okay. I need 2 volunteers. Ada and Jack. Ada and Jack, okay. Come on up. Could you hold this, Ada, from behind? And Jack, could you hold this from behind? Okay. So, some of you might know that our denomination, Unitarian Universalism, used to be 2 separate denominations. There used to be 2 separate groups of people. The Unitarians on one side and the Universalists on the other. And something happened in 1961, so a long time ago, before you were born. They got together, but before they got together, they had to figure out how to move forward together. And it was very muddy. It was a very difficult time because some people were over here saying, I want us to stay separate, right? And some people on this say, over here, the Unitarians group, they were saying, I want us to stay separate. So there was a lot of conflict between them. So when I have a question for you. How do you think the 2 groups ended up coming together? How would they resolve that? Yeah, Elliot.
Darth Vader said it was their destiny.
Somebody said it was their destiny. Well, guess what? There isn't really a Darth Vader or a Pope or anybody saying it's your destiny because both of these groups were very democratically run. So how might you think that they resolved this? How would you resolve a conflict if you're in this muddy situation? Daxton?
A vote?
A vote, yes. You're right. So they would take a vote to decide. And in order to take a vote, you'd have to have a conversation, right? And one of the ways that they moved together was actually an example by the young people. The teenagers merged before the adults. And that is because,
It's younger than 12?
like, the teenagers would be 13 to 18. Those 2 groups merged before the adults in these groups merged. And the reason why is because they were able to see that we could give you something and you could give us something too. So the Unitarian side gives us a lot of belief in terms of you can have an open mind, you can really explore what's true for you. The Universalist side gave us, you have to be kind and compassionate to other people and accept everyone with their worth and dignity. So those 2 groups got together and they moved through that muddy conflict by recognizing that they could actually offer each other something and have that be really more than both of them. Did you guys get that? That's a really important story in our history. Thank you. I'll put that right back. Thank you, Ida. Our story today comes from, is a story from Israel.
Oh, God.
And we have 3 farmers. Somebody who hasn't had a chance yet, Jules, Jack, and Des. And I'm going to need somebody else too. So keep your hands up if you're interested. There we go. There we go. Stay away from the fire. Come in the back here. Come right around the back, guys. Thank you. And I need a wife. Marianne, you had a chance. Ada, you had a chance to do something. Anybody else want a chance to do something today? Okay.
Henry was thinking about it.
Henry, you want to? Okay. I'm going to give you this. You can stay there until it's time. Okay? You're good. All right, here we go. Once there was a farmer, and he was old, and his name was Seth. And Seth.
I just couldn't think of it.
S-E-T-H.
Like a Seth. Seth is a name.
Seth.
Quantum.
Yep. And Seth had 2 sons, Dan and Joel. Okay? You remember this story?
I think I have.
Okay. So Seth was getting old, and he needed his sons to take over the farm. So he said, I'm giving you the land
I'm giving you the land
because it's time for me to go.
because it's time for me to go.
So Seth died.
No.
Sorry, Seth.
What?
And the 2 brothers, thank you for expressing the 2 brothers started their own lives adjacent to each other. You're over there. Lots and lots of farmland. Now Dan didn't marry. He stayed alone. Joel married.
Henry, come on.
Joel married. And he had a couple kids. Yeah, nice and proud. So the next thing that happened is really amazing. When there was a famine in the land, the 2 brothers, without telling each other, were concerned about the other. Dan was thinking, oh my goodness, my brother has this whole family to feed. How could he be surviving? And his brother was like, my brother Dan, he's all by himself. How could he be surviving? And so in the middle of the night, they made a decision. Dan decided to take half of the wheat that he had and secretly bring it over and put it on the threshing floor of Joel's house. And unbeknownst to him, his brother Joel did the same. Do, 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 in the middle of the night. Do, 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 do. And then you go there. Do, 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 do.
How did they not know?
And when the 2 woke up in the morning, they were like, how can that be? The guy going, how can that be?
How can that be?
I just gave him half. So I was like, I'm doing that again. Because I'm really concerned about my brother. This is a really hard time. So again, he took half of what he had, and he brought it in the middle of the night. Do, 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 do.
How do they not notice each other?
Because there is a big farmland. They're going in a different route. Again, how can that be?
How can that be?
Oh my goodness. And so, right here, Joel had a plan. He's like, I'm taking my wife this time. So that I don't think, but this is really true. So, on the 3rd night, Joel takes his wife on the donkey over there. And Dan was just getting out on his way. And where they met, actually this time, they met in the middle. And they realized that they were giving to each other this whole time. And they were really so happy, they hugged each other. But you don't have to hug each other. I'll just pretend. You can give an arm bump. Exactly. They hugged each other, and it is said where the 2 brothers meet, there was a temple built that said just that. Basically, that when we move through mud, we have to give to each other. And that is the foundation for a life well lived in a family life. That's the end of the story.
Okay, that was funny.
It is funny.
Yeah.
Thank you, Henry. You gonna put it back? You gonna put your head back? think that story from Israel has to teach us? Yeah, Ida.
Always give to each other when you can.
Yeah, give to each other when you can. Yeah. Anybody else got any ideas? Yeah, Ariana. You have to work together to get through the mud, right? The hard times. Yeah? Anybody else? Marianne.
Another thing is there was a famine, they were still pretty, you still have to be kind.
Yeah. So this is such an important thing, that when you're going through a hard time, to understand that you have some kindness to offer someone else, and it's so important to be able to do that in a very difficult time. How many of you during the pandemic, the last 2 years, so we've been in pandemic time, how many of you gave to other people? Whether that was love, kindness, safety, playing with each other, all of that, right? And how many people got things from other people? Support, love, playtime, assurance that we would make it through? Yeah. So the way we get through things, especially if we feel stuck, is to actually give of ourselves, right? Maddie, what do you think? Do you think we can always give, even if we're having a hard time? Do you think we could give of ourselves? What do you think? Yeah. So even if we don't have material things, or even if we have a little bit, you know, this is from my family tradition, even if you have a little bit, you always have enough to give. It's from my culture. So even if you have just a floor to lay on, you can offer it to someone. Even if you have, you know, one set of something, you can give half of it to someone who comes and needs that. You know what I'm saying? All right, so getting through mud means you can also give, not just like, you know, Marianne, some people, if they feel scared they're not going to make it through, it's like I hoard everything to myself, right? It's all about me, I'm having a hard time. So I need to take only myself. I don't only be all about myself, instead of actually being aware that other people are in need too. And that when you work together, it's actually better for everybody. All right, you guys ready for your workshop? Oh my goodness. So in this workshop, there's going to be a story read, and then you're going to be able to create your own story. So it's going to be a very busy room, so please take care of the room, okay? Go now in peace, go now in peace. Listen, open circles around you every day, every